Hi guys, my name is Fowobi. Welcome to the African Man podcast. On today's topic, we'll be talking about you're not your mistake, you're not your past. You are exactly what you do with those mistakes. It is inevitable, guys, to not make mistakes. It is inevitable. And if it's inevitable, what can you do to things that it's bound to happen? You propel forward. You don't look at the past. Take, for example, if I make mistake last week and I mess up last week, it makes more sense to figure out why I did that. I won't make that mistake again, which means I'm not going to repeat that mistake again. But if I make a mistake and I don't know the reason why I made that mistake, it is bound to repeat itself. When you're writing a program development, which is software development, you follow syntax and semantics. If you don't follow that syntax the way it's supposed to, that program won't run. But a software development is different from life. In life, you can't apply syntax, you can only apply semantics, which means that just because you live a good, holy life, you don't smoke, you don't drink, that doesn't mean life won't happen to you. And just because there's another human being that smokes all day, that drinks all day, that party all day, that doesn't mean that life will happen to them. And why am I saying this? It simply means that nobody has the right semantics to life. Life just happens. As long as you can figure out the lesson in every fall. Take, for example, if you trip and you fall now, if you can get the lesson and you understand that as far as this life is concerned, everything happens for a reason. That is one of the semantics of this reality that we are living in. But people don't look at it that way. People just trying to see, like people who say, why is this thing happening to me? Which is not the question you should ask yourself, the reason why it is happening to you. Because as far as this time is concerned, I said, every human being, not just human being, everything in this life is part of the program called life. You serve a purpose in this system called life. You do, including the trees, the plants, the soil, the water, the river, the mountains, everything is part of that system. So if life doesn't happen to you, then you're not alive. You're not part of that system. Now just imagine, everybody has made mistakes. I am a fuck up. The biggest fuck up though. And I used to think about it like, oh my God, how could I have done this? How could I have done something like this? And the more you look back, you wish you can go back to fix it. I tried though. Some days I'll pick up my phone, trying to call that person and, by apologizing, but then it doesn't solve anything. Because, I've come to realize that just because you say you are sorry, that doesn't change what has happened. But when you learn from that mistake, it's easy for you to have the foresight towards the future. And that way you have, a better view of what your future can be like. But this is where people fail, because people get blinded by what has happened and they believe that the future is dark. Of course, the future is not dark. How can the future be dark? If there are people that can predict the future and it is precise, what gives you the impression that the future is dark? I am a nerd. I read comic books and I believe in movies. In the movies, they will say, if I tell you the future, it's not gonna happen. That's some bullshit. That is some bullshit. Time is for real though. Life is for real. But I'm not trying to deviate into that. This is a topic for another day. But the topic stays. You are not your mistakes. You are not. You are not even your past. You are inevitable. You're bound to make mistakes. You're bound to change. Now, what you do with those mistakes is left to you. Now, that is the challenge of life. Because most people fall and expect people to show them sympathy. But then you need to understand that everybody is in their own spotlight. Everybody is on their own stage. Be kind to yourself. Be very, very kind to yourself though. I have to be frank with you. You have to be kind with yourself. You have to have an open mind. A very, very open mind towards things. The question you should ask is not the reason why this thing is happening to you. The question you should ask is, what am I learning from this thing that is happening to me? What is this thing trying to tell me? Because from our experience, we've come to realize that every human being serves a purpose, like I said earlier. But everybody believes that their purpose is the higher purpose. But now look at it from this side of you. Everybody can be the front line. Everybody can be the head. In every system, there is the head, there is the body, there is the tail. There is the leader, there is the follower. To some human beings, their job is just to influence the people that will rule the world. But people don't look at it from that side of you. Oh my God, I want to be the head. Of course, you want to be the head. When you give birth to a child and that child died immediately after they gave birth to that child, I promise you, that child serves their purpose already. You see, perspective is everything in life. The way you view things, the way your understanding of things is wisdom. When you understand that this thing is happening for a reason, what is this thing trying to tell me? What am I trying to learn from this thing? I get questions all the time from my co-workers, and they'll say, because I talk like this. This is how I talk. And my friends will say, okay, then how can we avoid making mistakes? It is inevitable. Like I said, it will happen. You will make mistakes. You will. Maybe in a relationship, maybe with your family members, maybe it's anger problem. Maybe you don't know how to manage people. Maybe you don't know how to manage money. Maybe you just don't know how to be hardworking. Maybe, it's just you. But once you can keep learning and understand there, okay, because look at it from the side of you. Life has different semantics and different frameworks. But if you pay very, very close attention to the framework, it is identical. It is very, very identical. There's a lot of human beings in the world. You're not even different. You're not. Your thumbprint, your fingerprint might be different. Your ears might be different from another human being. But you're not different. Your problem is not different. There's another human being in the world that is going through what you're going through with less than what you have. And this is perspective that I'm talking about. You have no reason to feel bad. Remember, life is not forever. Life is not forever. And when it comes to the human life, every beginning has a end. And that's the reason why you have to utilize your time. You have to utilize your time. You need sense of humor. You need sense of humor to understand that, okay, no hard feelings though. This thing happened. You learn from it, you move forward. And that is the topic where I said it is about what you do with your mistakes. You learn from it. Can you just imagine how many mistakes I have made in my life? And I'm still a young man. I'm 36. I'm 36 years old. I've made mistakes that for a long time. It made me, because this is what happened about mistakes. For a long time, it made me feel so bad that I did something like that. But it's life. Now, this is the thing about mistakes. If you haven't come for redemption, it depends on the hierarchy of your mistakes. My own mistake was different, and I didn't really feel bad at first. But when I came for redemption, that was when it hit me. That was when I became very, very depressed. Like, oh my God, why would I have done something like this? How could I have done something like this? You get me? And it went on for a while. But luckily for me though, I had good parents. And they saw the difference in my behavior. And they sat me down. And this is what I'm doing to you guys today. Sitting you down to let you know that there is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing you are experiencing right now that somebody out there has not experienced before. There is no mistake you are making right now, or you have made, or you will make, that somebody else has not made before. And that is the reason why you have to be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Remember, you are the landlord of your body. You live here. Be kind to yourself. You don't even have any reason to look back. Like, it happened already. Be cheerful. Be kind to yourself. Be happy. Be very, very happy. It is okay for you to cry for a little bit. Everybody cries. Everybody cries. It is okay to cry for a little bit. But what is not okay is for you to be down based on the mistake you made in your past. No. Remember, you have to continuously summon the courage to propel forward. If nobody is applauding for you, if nobody is supporting you, you have to be your own support system to go forward. If you used to be very, very bad and you want to change, and people say, nah, people like you don't change, people will say that. Forget whatever they say and propel forward. Prove them wrong. But the difference is this: as human beings, we want the approval of we want the approval of another human being. We want them to approve us that, okay, we can change, which is okay. But from experience though, you don't need anybody's approval. You don't. You need to prove it to yourself that this is my life. This is my life. Now, the strange part about people is this: people who portray perfection, like they don't make mistakes. Now, I'll tell you guys the truth today. Every human being you see have their own fuck-ups. Everybody makes mistakes. Mistake is one thing that everybody makes all the time. But the thing is this: people are hypocrites. People are hypocrites, though. People will judge you. But the mistake human being makes is this: everybody wants everybody to be kind to them, but everybody forgets that it starts with you. Go out there and be kind to 5 people every day. But the downside is this: the world would never accept peace as the way of life. So I stop bothering about what people think of me. I focus on myself, regardless of what my past is. I understand I make mistakes. I understand that I'm not perfect. I am a human being. It is inevitable for me to avoid making mistakes. My past doesn't define me. Everything I have done, all my mistakes in my past years, they don't define me. I am Nigerian. I came from... Oh God. I didn't just wake up one morning and be a software engineer. There's a lot of people who knew me in my past years that would say, nah, people like you can't change. Of course, people change. Anything is possible, my friends. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. And your definition is not defined by another human being. It is defined by you. As long as you keep telling yourself that this is the change I want, it is yours. It is yours though. I want you to take something out of your mind though. You can't avoid mistakes. You can't avoid failure. Learn from mistakes. Learn from people before you. And be wise. Be very, very wise though. Nobody's perfect. People will portray perfection out there and make you feel like your life is trash. But your life is not trash. You are a human being. Even when you turn 50 years old and you turn 60 and 70, you still don't know life. It is a database system that is so large that one lifetime is not enough for you to learn everything in life. It is a big data box, very, very big. So why are you stressing yourself? If one lifetime is not, if one lifetime is not enough to learn everything in life, what do you think your worry and you feeling depressed is gonna change? It's not gonna hurt anything. As a matter of fact, life itself doesn't even care about how you feel. And when you have that kind of mindset though, you pick yourself up, then you keep going. You're not your mistake, my friends. You're not. You can never be your mistakes. As long as you want change, go for it. Go for your change. And be happy. Be very, very happy with yourself. Remember, your life is not forever. Your life is not forever. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Just because you're alive, just because you breathe in oxygen and you breathe out, that doesn't mean you're alive. You need to start living, my friends. You need to start living. Write down your dreams and go for it. Keep your chin up. Your past, you don't even need to look at it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. We all did. We all did. Look at me. And we're still propelling forward. It's not like we don't think about it, but we just know that we are not our mistakes. We are not. How can I be? I'll see you guys again. Take it easy.